Welcome back to rcFoamFighters Bulletproof Plane Build Along number 1. In this video we're going to go ahead and cover all of the phase 3 part of the build. Basically we're going to be covering the plane, and I'm going to be showing you techniques on how to use the tape and what type of tapes to use. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, before we can start covering the wing, we need to bevel the wing tips. Take the handheld hot wire and use it the same way we did to do the leading and trailing edges. Just trim the KF airfoil down and sand it smooth with the sanding block. Once you have them beveled, we're going to need to tape them up with some strapping tape. I used 2 pieces and overlapped them in the middle here where the center of the wing is. You're going to need to cut slices in the tape in order for them to overlap each other because of the radius of the wing. You won't be able to fold it over without getting creases if you don't slice it. So you're going to cut slices into the tape and fold them over one piece at a time, overlapping them. When you get to the leading edge, wrap the tape around the corner and then fold it back over the top of the other pieces. Okay, there are a couple preferred materials that you can use for covering the wing. Paul and I both like using this packing sealing tape. It's actually tape that they use to seal boxes. It's very thin and comes in a variety of different colors and is very inexpensive. The best place we've found so far to get this is tapebrothers.com on the internet. We haven't been able to find any place locally that carries these colored ones. The only ones you'll be able to find in any of the stores are going to be the plain tan packing tape that you usually see in the stores. If you don't want to order online, I would suggest the only other thing to use would be Monocoat or something like that you would get at the hobby shop that comes in large sheets. Okay, so those are the things that you would want to use. You're going to want to stay away from these other types of tapes. Paul and I have both experimented with these. Duct brand duct tape. It comes in a lot of nice colors, bright colors, but it's extremely heavy. I would say it's probably at least 6 or 7 times heavier than the packaging tape. Also, these heavy vinyl tapes, they probably weigh 4 to 5 times more than the packing tape. Just for weight reasons alone, I would not use these. It's much lighter to go with the packing tape. Alright, before you start taping up the plane, you're going to need to remove the control rods and the motor so they're not in the way. The speed controller I'm not going to be able to take off because I've got the receiver and the BEC taped in there, and the BEC is soldered onto the speed controller, so I'm just going to tuck it in where the battery goes and maybe just tape it in there so it won't be in the way. I usually like to start in the center of the plane and then work my way to the outside edge of the wings. Also, because this is going to be a very fast plane, I usually like to vary the color a lot between the top and the bottom, just so I don't lose orientation while I'm flying. Especially on this plane, since it's not going to have any rear stabilizers, it's going to be very easy to lose top from bottom. So I'm probably going to use a really light, bright color on the top and a dark color on the bottom. I would not suggest making the plane all just one color. It would be way too easy to crash it that way. We're going to go ahead and continue taping up. As I said, start in the middle, and I don't expect everybody to make it the same color scheme. Go ahead and do it your own way. Make the plane your own. Whatever colors you like is what you should use. Let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to continue on from the middle of the plane and work on our way to the outside. Alright, we've got the rear half of the wing done, both on the top and on the bottom. I'm going to be doing the bottom all in black, so it'll be dark like I said. And top side, I was going to make it all yellow, but I've decided I want to make it a two-tone so it'll stand out more. I'm going to make the front half of the wing blue. When you're covering the wing in tape, it works best if you use a razor blade, and after you've cut the pieces a little bit longer than you need, wrap them around the edge, the back edge of the ailerons, and then trim them off at the bottom. And when you do the bottom side, do the opposite, wrap it around this way so that you got to overlap at the back edge of the ailerons. It helps them stick together better so it won't come off. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of the wing, and we'll turn the video back on when it's done. Alright, I've got the plane pretty much finished. Both the top and the bottom are completely covered, and I've also made the top fuselage piece to cover the battery box. It's basically just made out of 2 pieces of leftover foam, or actually 3 pieces of leftover foam, and it's held on with these magnets. The foam is the 8mm that was left over from doing the airfoils. I cut out a square that was 8.5 inches long by 4 inches wide, and then I also cut 2 1-inch wide strips out of it that were 8.5 inches long, and I glued the 1-inch pieces to the outsides. This is going to allow air to flow through it and over the battery, hopefully keep the battery cool, and it should go right out the back side. I basically just cut the shape with the handheld hot wire and then sanded it to a rounded shape with the sanding block, and it's covered in black tape, and it just mounts on there with magnets. The first flight I'm probably going to go ahead and tape it on just to make sure it doesn't come off. Alright, and the plane is two-tone blue and yellow on the top, and I put the bright day glow orange strips on the leading edge so I can tell when the plane's coming at me. On the bottom, it's all black with the day glow orange again accents to help make it more noticeable on the bottom. And we'll be planning on taking it out today to do the maiden flight. So hopefully everything goes good and we get some good footage for the next video. Now we're pretty much done with this phase 3 part, getting the plane covered. Alright, we'll be back again soon. Thanks for watching RC Foam Fighters.